Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. He wants to hang out with you next week, and I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to,
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to the party.
And that's always been my whole thing, and have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that.
And Terrence Howard worked on my first film, Get Rich or Die Trying with me. He's a good friend of mine.
This is real life that we're talking about. We're not talking about dingleberries and applesauce. Yeah, real life.
Just when you thought the Diddy chaos couldn't get any crazier, boom, 50 Cent jumps in and drops a wild bombshell claiming he might have straight up saved Terrence Howard from falling into Diddy's freaky trap. But wait, there's more. Terrence is finally breaking his silence, and he's not holding back. He's calling out all the Hollywood dudes who didn't have the guts to tell Diddy no.
I'm always right. It's like when I'm right, I'm right. And when I'm wrong, I could have been right. So I'm still right because I could have been wrong.
According to Terrence, some of these industry men straight up gave up their dignity at those infamous FO parties, and he barely escaped the madness himself. Now here's where things get real twisted.
Do all those things. When you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the Puffy party.
Word is Diddy allegedly hit up Terrence to be part of his new docuseries. Yeah, you heard that right. And rumor has it these two were about to team up and blow the lid off the whole thing, exposing what everything from the wild invites to the shady deals made behind closed doors. So the real question is who actually said yes to Diddy, because some huge names are being whispered, names you definitely know.
That was all the people that went to the Puffy party. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Got punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. You shouldn't have a greater desire than being a man. So I believe that's a big problem with a lot of the actors out there, because they get fluid, and next thing you know, once you go fluid, it's gone. You don't have any foundation to pull yourself back from. So maintain your man card, no matter what.
And guess what 50C is out here talking like there's receipts lined up for this documentary, real footage, real stories, real drama. If that's true, it could be the biggest industry takedown we've ever seen. So what really went down when Diddy tried to lure Terrence Howard into one of those wild parties? Well, Terrence just spilled some straight up shocking tea during a recent appearance on the PBE podcast. He opened up about how certain celebs traded in their pride just to stay on top. And he made it clear this is the exact same vibe he saw at Diddy's events.
So you see some guys struggling with that. You see Bieber struggling with that. You see some of these guys struggling with that.
They can't get it out of their head. They can't get it out of their head. The things that they did, no matter how they did it, whether they were drunk or high or whatever, you gave up your man card. You need therapy. And that's the thing that hurts them the most. And so they end up on drugs, end up every way to try and get rid of any principles there are. And that's what the business does. And the women that trade their bodies to go and get the role, they get to the point where they have their Oscar, they have their money, but they don't have their dream. They don't have the soul that they started with. So it's like achieving don't mean anything. If I get all the Nobel Prizes from doing all of this, but in the process I have to trade out all of my integrity to do it so that they can stay in place, what benefit is that if I lose my integrity? You got to go in as a principal.
And then Terrence went even further. He said, this is exactly what happened with a lot of the celebs who went to Diddy's parties. So when Patrick Bet-David threw out names like Justin Bieber during the interview, suggesting they might have been caught up in Diddy's madness, Terrence Howard didn't flinch. He straight up agreed. He said, you can see the trauma on some of these people's faces, like they're still carrying the weight of whatever went down behind those closed doors. But hold up, it gets even messier. Terrence dropped a bomb of his own, saying, did he actually try to come at him?
Did you ever have the opportunity where you got invited and you said no to it?
Hell yeah.
What was the consequences when you said no?
Puffy invited me for weeks, asking me to come and teach him how to, wanted me to be his acting coach for a while. Go there and he's sitting around just looking. I'm like, okay, what's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to.
According to Terrence, Diddy first slid in acting all innocent, pretending he needed help learning how to act, but then out of nowhere he switched lanes and started acting real interested in Terrence's music. That's when Terrence's assistant stepped in and warned him something felt way off. Turns out that instinct was spot on, because Terrence didn't just call out Diddy, he said there were other big-name producers who tried him too real shady energy. Didn't name names yet, but he made it clear this isn't a one-man show, it's a whole system. And the reason you haven't seen Terrence in every blockbuster, he says it's because he refused to play the game word for word. He said he lost out on major Hollywood deals just because he wouldn't bend over literally or metaphorically. He stayed true to himself, but the price was steep.
Be hand off with somebody. A number of producers come in to make the approach, and you threaten to punch them in the mouth, or threaten to knock their head off for talking to you or looking at you like you're a woman. When you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're going to get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man.
Now, of course, once this interview hit the internet, social media exploded. People couldn't believe Terrence actually said all that out loud, especially since most celebs are out here acting like they've never even met Diddy. Only a few like 50 Cent and Cat Williams have dared to speak up. But Terrence, he's the only A-lister who straight up said Diddy tried to smash him. And speaking of 50, he's still on a mission. He's been teasing his Diddy exposed documentary for weeks now. When someone asked him why, he's the only one bold enough to speak. His answer was savage, simple. I never went to any of them freak-off parties.
That's always been my whole thing, and I've lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that because the man card means everything.
Now, Tyrese is chiming in on Terrence Howard's wild claims about Diddy trying to drag him into one of those infamous freak-off setups. Ty posted a clip from Terrence's interview on his Instagram and kept it cryptic, writing, "No comment, I'm staying positive, God help us all." Well, meanwhile, 50 Cent is keeping that same stay positive energy, but his version of positive, turning all this Diddy drama into a blockbuster Netflix documentary. Yep. He's about to put the whole story on blast with a series that's supposed to cover every shocking accusation surrounding Diddy, but here's where it gets extra petty in true 50 fashion.
Do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now, and then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy.
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated. So.
But was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what was going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that 50 shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
Word on the street is that 50 already hit up Terrence asking if he'd be down to join the documentary and spill even more about how Diddy tried to rope him into one of those FO sessions, the timing savage, the intention crystal clear. And honestly, it makes sense why 50 wants Terrence on board. These two got history 50s, been writing for Terrence before, especially when Terrence spoke out about getting scammed out of millions. And blacklisted by big studios, 50 didn't stay silent then, and he's not staying silent now. I say 50 Cent is unmatched. He is unmatched. His pettiness goes beyond anybody that has ever been petty in the hemisphere of pettyism in this damn universe. Child 50 Cent made a bidding war off of Diddy. Do It Diddy, Do It was bought by Netflix, baby. So this docu-series will be out about everything that has happened since Cassie has filed this lawsuit against Diddy. Leave 50 Cent out of everything, because this man's pettiness is beyond compare. Lately, Terrence has been speaking up. About deeper issues in Hollywood beyond just money, he's been vocal about what he sees as an agenda to strip masculinity from black men in the industry. According to him, he was labeled difficult just for turning down roles that didn't align with his values. He refused to wear a dress or play roles that, in his words, were meant to soften a man's image. Transformative. Oh, check this out. I made $12,000 for doing Hustle and Flow. And then on top of it, what Paramount did instead of putting my name as Terrence Howard performing to the songs they put performed by DJ. Well, they own DJ. So guess what the performance royalties went to Paramount? They wait a minute, they didn't go to Terrence $12,000. That's all I ever made from Hustle and Flow. Terrence, put it bluntly, the man has been demonized. He says there's a new formula out here, one that's pushing men to lose their strength, their confidence, their power. Terrence Howard didn't hold back. When it came to calling out double standards in Hollywood, he said it straight. They let white men be strong, but when it's black men, suddenly it's seen as a threat. And when the conversation turned to Taraji P. Henson's recent statement about being underpaid as a black woman in the industry, Terrence said he wasn't shocked at all. According to him, this kind of stuff has been going on forever. Then he brought up Hustle and Flow, the movie that put him on the map. And here's where Jaws dropped. Sue Paramount will send him a letter. Are you serious? I gotta send him a letter to say, hey, you guys owe me about 20 years worth of residuals and then performance royalties, but I didn't know. I was just trying to pay my rent. Then I made $6,000 doing Crash. Didn't I remember the movie Crash? Yes, that's right. The business don't pay actors anything. That's why the strike is going on. Actors are struggling. Terrence said if he knew back then how the game was really played, he would have made very different choices. That film, dropped by Paramount in 2005, was a box office smash, pulling in over $75 million. But guess how much Terrence got paid? Only $12,000. That's it for the lead role. And that ain't even the craziest part. He also revealed he never got a single royalty check for the songs he performed in the film, despite them becoming iconic. This is existed. You make your way through my ups and downs. Whenever I get in trouble, this the one. I call this my strategist. Right here, this my brother's brother. Yes, sir, it's proven now. Terrence says he's seriously thinking about suing Paramount to finally get what's owed to him after 20 years of being ghosted on those checks. And it gets even more outrageous. He dropped another bomb. He only got $6,000 for his Oscar-winning performance in Crash. $6,000 for one of the most critically acclaimed films of that year. When 50 Cent saw all this go down, he was heated. He quickly stepped in, offering both Terrence and Taraji a chance to come work with him at Gannett Films and Television, promising to pay them what they actually deserve. Was doing a lot of things, man. Most importantly, he had a recital that he has to be at the Blue. But we reached out to him, and I told him that this right here was important. Bad Boy, celebrating 20 years of hits. This is extended family. We've been there through our ups and downs. Fitty posted a clip of Terrence talking about his low pay from Hustle and Flow and wrote in the caption, "This ish hurt my stomach to hear Terrence say this. F them, I need the best actors, and I'm going to pay them." Then he called out to Taraji to Taraji, "You cool with Mary J. Blige? Ask her she got a big effing bank." And just like that, Fitty doubled down, urging Terrence once again to join the Gannett movement. Damn, Terrence, call my phone. That's what 50 Cent posted. And he wasn't playing. He said he'll personally make sure Terrence gets the money. Hollywood owes him no games, no middlemen, just business handled the Gannett way, not approved. No, you're not. I love you. But Sean, I'm not there yet. I appreciate that I'm not there yet. Yeah, who is Sean approved from the world of entertainment? There's only one person, of course, and I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean, okay? Yeah, nobody else could call me Sean. He's the only person. There's not a single person that outside of family. That should be no outside of my mother, okay? Just they should be calling me, yeah? They should be following me now that Terrence has officially spoken out against Diddy, 50's longtime enemy. It's the perfect time for these two to link up and expose everything. Fans are already hyped seeing 50. Terrence, Cat Williams, and a few brave others finally stepping up and saying no to Diddy's madness. But here's the real T. Terrence didn't mince words. He straight up said a lot of men in the game lost their man card by letting Diddy manipulate them. And yeah, you can probably take a wild guess at a few of those names. Word is 50 is locked in on making sure this upcoming documentary doesn't pull any punches. Every name is getting aired out, and one name that just won't stop coming up, Jay-Z. Even though Jay is now here acting like he barely New Diddy the history says otherwise before all this blew up. Diddy used to call Jay his extended family. Even said Jay was his strategist, the first person he'd call when he was in deep trouble. And then there's that viral moment where Diddy bragged that Jay skipped Blue Ivy's recital just to hit the stage for Bad Boy's 20th anniversary show. Let that sink in. He missed a once-in-a-lifetime moment with his daughter just to back Diddy on stage. That's a different kind of loyalty. Now Jay's trying to rewrite the story, saying they weren't even that close. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear friend. Happy birthday to you. Thank you. This is a special birthday for both of us. And don't forget, during Diddy's 2023 carpool karaoke with James Corden, he said only 2 people are allowed to call him by his government name, his mom and Jay-Z. Let's not forget, just a few months before Cassie's explosive lawsuit dropped in November, 2023 Diddy was still getting praise left and right. He even scored a BT Lifetime Achievement Award. And guess who recorded a special tribute for him? Jay-Z. Yep, I started kicking it with Diddy, right? I ran around with Diddy for 2 years a damn. And this Diddy, we never went to the studio one time, but he was like, yo, with your demo that you know, bad boy, hey, Playboy, hey, here, go watch Playboy, go change Playboy. I'm like, yo, we ever going rap? Like, yo, but the jet leaving 5, we're going to Miami, Playboy, we're going to, you know what I'm saying, we're going to New York, we're in ATL this weekend, boy, pop out. And I was going everywhere with Diddy and Jay. Don't just show up like that for anyone. Now here's where it gets real wild. There's an actual video of Jay shirtless and all oiled up standing in Diddy's house while Diddy sings happy birthday to him, no joke. That clip's out there and people are citing hard. Then there's that viral pic of Diddy in French Montana looking real cozy, like spooning while partying in Miami. And you already know 50 Cent had to jump on that one. He reposted the pic on IG with a caption that had folks cracking up. What in the world is going on in this picture, man? Something's not right, haha. But that's just one chapter in the chaos. I don't know what whatever someone does in their bedroom, that's what they do, I don't got. Nothing to do with that. I'm just here to say that I've never seen my man doing anything foul like they talking about. None of it, all of it. I mean, you know, I've never seen it. I've known him for 29 years. And then it's like with guys like 50, you know what I'm saying? Like Uncle Tom cast like that, you know what I'm saying? It's like you. Now, you want to put me, I don't know if y'all started posting with 50 posted about me. Of course you guys. Yeah, you know, yeah. I mean, 50 has been going after Diddy and everybody associated with him for months now, ever since the Cassie lawsuit. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, you can't brush under the rug. I don't see anybody reporting about what tatted up Holly said about him beating her up and about, you know what I'm saying. His other baby monster said beating her up. I just look at it as, you know, he wants to bring the black community down worse than anyone else. Another name floating around, Tyrese's upcoming doc, The Game. Yep, the rapper back in a 2022 Drink Champs interview. The Game said Diddy approached him to make an album, but instead of hitting the studio, they spent 2 whole years traveling the globe with Diddy showering him in luxury gifts, first-class trips, and wild parties. And when The Game popped up again on Vlad TV after the Diddy allegations hit the headlines, he confirmed it, said they never recorded a single track, just 2 years of partying, mostly down in Atlanta. And this is just the surface. It's not normal you kick it around him. It's like his whole life is like, it's crazy to look at, you know what I'm saying, because I make sure I keep my normality all the time. But that mother is like big walking corporation. Nuts, more names are getting dragged into this swirling storm. One of them, Diddy's longtime friend. And producer Stevie was actually named in Lil Rod's lawsuit, where Lil Rod claimed Diddy openly bragged about hooking up with him. When 50 Cent called out Stevie for defending Diddy, Stevie clapped back hard. But fans noticed he sounded way too defensive. Now, all eyes are on 50's upcoming docket. And let's not forget Machine Gun Kelly. He was signed to Bad Boy and partied heavily with Diddy back in the day. MGK even admitted he saw some wild stuff go down around Diddy, but he never spilled the full details. He kept it mysterious, too mysterious.
Diddy and Ross, which they good buddies, okay? They're gay.
Who?
Both. Diddy and Ross. And Khaled. They're all gay. Okay?
DJ Khaled, Rick Ross,
yeah.
and P. Diddy?
Yeah.
They're all gay?
Yeah.
Then we got DJ Cal and Rick Ross, both of whom got name dropped by Diddy's former employee Jonathan Oy during a police investigation. And what Jonathan said, man, it was insane. According to Jonathan, he was personally hired by Diddy to work those infamous freak-off sessions, but it didn't stop there. He claimed that after he caught an STD and tried to speak up, Diddy allegedly sent Rick Ross to silence him. Yep, you heard that right, Jonathan. Also claimed that Diddy, Rick Ross, and DJ Khaled all took part in those wild private parties and said they were all living double lives now. Whether it's true or not, that's a whole other conversation. But one thing's clear, these allegations are no joke. Terrence Howard said it best: there's a long list of industry men who might have lost their man card messing around at Diddy's events, and truthfully, we've only scratched the surface. The list goes deep. So if you've seen a celeb partying with Diddy, and now they're out here pretending they barely knew him, yes, that now we wait for 50 Cent's explosive docuseries to finally drop. That Did He Do It documentary might just flip the whole industry upside down. But until then, what do you think about Terrence Howard's claims? Do you believe Diddy tried to come for him? And who else do you think might be exposed next? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget, like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who needs to see this, and turn on notifications so you never miss the tea.